Hello there, this is Pete Howard, Director of Concert Posters for Heritage Auctions. And I gotta start by saying, have you ever seen a poster with so many gorgeous colors and a great design? At first I wanna say R&B poster, but really, including rock, I mean, what a beauty. I've sort of nicknamed this the Otis Rainbow poster, even though those aren't the colors of the rainbow, but you know, the way they flow and the design of the poster, this is just a visual masterpiece, just from Globe Posters. Take a look at the design. It's just absolutely wonderful. And you know, it's orange and green and, you know, and fluorescent day glow and everything. It's just so sweet. And then there's Otis. Look at that picture. It's not a publicity still or a headshot, you know, like they often have. He's actually, you know, in concert on the mic with a wide smile. It's just a great picture. And, you know, everybody on this poster does get a picture with their name check as well. That's so fun, you know, like you see the little black boxes by most of the pictures. That's really a fun aspect of having, you know, their presence on the poster with the name, a little box. That's sort of a Globe trademark, you know. And going down from Otis, you've got, what talent, right? Percy, Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman. Are you kidding? And then Arthur Conley, who had Sweet Soul Music, very influential, important R&B hit that was #2, both pop and R&B on the Billboard charts. And then you've got the Manhattans. Now this is early for them, 67. They blew up in the 70s and they had a big hit with Kiss and Say Goodbye. Now by Otis's hand right there, it's a good place for them. You've got the Bar-Kays, and that was Otis's backup group. And they actually had a top 20 hit this year with Soul Finger. Unfortunately, it was 4 months after this show that most of the Bar-Kays and Otis perished in a plane crash on the way to a gig. And that's why right afterwards, in very early January 1968, the posthumous hit Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay came out and broke everybody's hearts. Now notice the date up top. This is a tour blank. There's, you know, we've seen it from another city. It would switch out the date, the venue information, the ticket prices up there. And as you can see, it's the Expo Theatre, which was in Montreal, Canada for this one. And there were 3 shows a day. Wow, a matinee and 2 evening performances. And it was the 4th of July. Oh, whoops, sorry, it's Canada, so that meant nothing to them, only to us Americans. But I love the way it's a little bit French and a little bit English, at least on the month of the year, so that's pretty funny. Now, it's interesting, under the $4 ticket price there, it says in real small letters, printed in the USA. On American versions of this poster, they don't have that up there in the venue box like that, high profile, if you will, but that's how Canada worked with America. If posters were going to be brought into Canada by a touring musician, they needed to say made in the USA quite prominently, preferably up there at the top like that. What's interesting about that is the famous rare psychedelic poster BG-74. The Jefferson Airplane and the Grateful Dead also had printed in the USA as part of the artwork. It was on there, and yet most of them, if the reports are true, were confiscated at the border by Canadian officials. I don't know why. I don't know if it wasn't prominent enough. And so most of them got tossed out, as of course the legend goes. So it's interesting to see that up there in the venue box where it absolutely cannot be missed. Now that's the top. The bottom of the poster has a couple of really interesting elements. This is really funny. Now these are black and white pictures of the musicians. So look what Globe did. They took Betty Harris's dress and made it yellow. And they took the 5 stair steps and gave them all yellow shirts or sweaters. That's really cutely appealing. I think that's really fun. But the winner of the coloring contest belongs over here. Take a look at Betty Swan. She has now a Dayglow orange sweater, thanks to the art department at Globe Posters. So they had a lot of fun with this, and the overall result is just a colorful masterpiece. Otis Redding, what can you say? I mean, the big O. You know, all the rock musicians bowed at his feet. And this is the best concert poster of his career, hands down. I felt like I almost didn't need to say it. One more interesting thing, by the way, about this tour in the bottom, Carla Thomas was sort of on again, off again. Well, she was off again for the Canadian dates. But they forgot or just felt they couldn't take her photo out. So there's Carla Thomas but they took her name away from the orange blank space where her name block was. So she sort of has half a presence on this poster, and I'm sure the musicians got quite a kick out of that if they, saw the poster themselves. Okay, so just a beautiful one. This falls on Saturday, April 19th of our spring music memorabilia and concert poster 3-day auction. And so this is the Saturday, April 19th. And to read a lot more about it and see pictures and everything, just go to ha.com/7414.